coming up on Retirement Solutions Television.
Coming up on today's show, we'll reveal how a second opinion could literally save your retirement and the conversations you should be having that could help your money go further in retirement.
In most cases, when we do this Social Security analysis for folks, it's over $1 million between a married couple that they pull out of Social Security. So that's like an advisor telling you, don't worry about that $1 million over there, we got it with everything else. No, this is your money. This is not an entitlement.
The other thing that's important is how you withdraw your money from your retirement accounts, because if you make a mistake in the order of withdrawal, that can also be very costly when it comes to retirement. Tyson, what are the 3 buckets that you have when it comes to your retirement money?
This is an important piece that you need to understand, so grab a pen right now.
And now your hosts of Retirement Solutions Television, the Retirement Brothers, Tyson and Ryan Thacker.
Welcome to Retirement Solutions Television. I'm Ryan Thacker along with my brother Tyson.
We've got an action-packed show for you today, and we're going to start right here, right now. Welcome back. We are the Retirement Brothers. We're so glad you're with us.
I want you to really think about this question, and I want you to answer it as honestly and objectively as you can. Aside from the happy hellos and how's the family, is your financial advisor creating value? Are they truly creating value for you? And are you having conversations about taxes, Social Security, generating income, health care, Medicare, risk, inflation, required minimum distributions, and so on?
That's quite the list you just named.
That is a list. And if the answer is yes, then you have a great advisor. But if you're not having these conversations, you're the one who's going to pay for it. And you owe it to yourself to get a second opinion. Coming up on today's show, we'll reveal how a second opinion could literally save your retirement and the conversations you should be having that could help your money go further in retirement. So Tyson, with that, let's talk about some of the questions, because I think when it comes to retirement planning, oftentimes there's more questions than answers if you're not working with the right advisor. So let's talk about what are some of the questions that you should be asking.
Well, we have people come to our office every single day asking these questions because they haven't been getting them from their advisor. Now, that doesn't mean that advisor isn't focused on a lot of the great things.
Yeah, they're good people.
They're great people. But there are 5 critical questions that we want to go through on today's show. The first one is this: is your current financial advisor truly creating value? Without a shadow of a doubt. That's a big one, right?
Well, because value it's different for everybody.
That's right.
What may be important to one person is not important to the other. But when it comes to retirement planning, there are no do-overs. So one little mistake here, the effect to you and what that can mean to you is it can cost you a lot of money.
Creates a ripple effect all through the years.
And here's question number 2. What are the consequences of not having the right financial advisor? And the follow-up question to that is, ultimately, what could it cost you?
You know, as you talk about that, there are all different types of financial advisors. We're going to get into this a lot more on the show today, what the different type of financial advisors there are and what that means, whether it's from a product perspective, from a knowledge perspective. This is a great topic.
Because if you make a mistake, you're the one going to pay for it.
That's right. Number 3 is this: if you get bad counsel on just one piece of the retirement puzzle, what does that mean?
That's right. And when you think about one piece, we're going to talk about Social Security in today's show and talk about how one little mistake with Social Security could cost you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, because you make that one mistake. You did not receive the advice that you needed on Social Security, and that's a big deal. And then here's this question, is what should you look for in a financial advisor? I think sometimes you don't know exactly what questions you should be asking when it comes to a financial advisor. We're going to help clarify those questions so that you know what are the right questions to ask.
In other words, you may feel like in your gut that there's more out there, but you don't know enough to know what the questions are.
Yeah.
And that plays a huge role in what we're going to show you today as we go through today's show. You only get one chance to retire, so there's no room for error. You have to get this right. Getting a second opinion to confirm you've covered your bases could help you avoid making a huge financial mistake that could cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. And it will only benefit one person, right?
That's right.
That's you. There's literally no downside risk. If you want to have that conversation with us, we'd be happy to look at your situation and ensure you're leaving no stones unturned. Let us prove to you how we could help make the most out of every dollar that you've saved for retirement with our Boss Retirement Blueprint. We keep it simple, we keep it short, and we only focus on the most critical factors that could help your money go further in retirement. Your initial analysis won't cost you a dime, so if you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement, call us at 801-610-1234 to schedule your initial analysis right now. That's 801-610-1234.
Coming up next, we'll reveal how getting a second opinion right now could save your retirement. Don't miss this. Join us after the break.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
You made it. Years of hard work, investing, planning, and now you're here. The long-awaited reward you spent a lifetime looking forward to. But what now? After years of growing a nest egg, now you may want to manage it. Use it to fund your dreams. Make it last as long as you need it. And leave some for those you love. So what do? Wall Street continues to be uncertain, and some conservative options have dropped through the floor. How do you maintain opportunities for growth and reduce risk of loss from market changes? That's where we come in. We are financial professionals. From investments and insurance products to tax reduction strategies and guaranteed retirement income you cannot outlive, provided by the claims-paying ability of insurance companies. You've worked a lifetime to get here. Let us help you enjoy it to the fullest. For a complimentary consultation, simply contact us today.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Welcome back to Retirement Solutions Television. I'm Ryan Thacker along with my brother Tyson.
We're warning you right now, what we're suggesting could make you feel a little uncomfortable. In fact, it could make you feel a little bit guilty, but ultimately it could be the best thing that you ever did for you and your family. In fact, it could save your retirement. We have a simple and straightforward question. Is your financial advisor truly creating value? Because if they're not, you're the one who's going to pay for it. And ultimately, it could cost you your retirement. Coming up in this segment, we're going to reveal how a second opinion could save your retirement and the conversations you should be having that could help your money go further in retirement. And Ryan, we opened last segment talking about the 5 major questions we have. We want to delve a little bit deeper into each one of these today. And the first one is what?
What happens if you have the wrong financial advisor, and how can it actually cost you? And I think a good topic here is Social Security. You know, 12.4% of your paycheck, from the very first paycheck going back to a kid, if you were working in the movie theater or the swimming pool or had that construction job, 12.4% going into Social Security. If you've made just an average income over your lifetime, what that means is you've paid more than 6 figures into the Social Security retirement program. And one little mistake can be costly here, because here's the big difference. If someone, you look at the statement that you receive from Social Security, it comes right around your birthday, or you can get it online. But one of our favorite things about that statement is it shows a history of all the years that you paid into Social Security.
It really tells a story, right?
Yeah. And what's the mistake? Why is it if an advisor says to you, hey, don't worry about Social Security, I don't really focus on that, but hey, we can focus on your investments and focus on what your money is doing. Why is that so costly, Tyson?
Well, you just mentioned it. You talked about the fact that over your lifetime, it could be a 6-figure amount of money that you're putting into that. Then you take that and you take the next 30 years, of how you're going to get money out of Social Security. In most cases, when we do this Social Security analysis for folks, it's over $1 million between a married couple that they pull out of Social Security. So that's like an advisor telling you, don't worry about that $1 million over there, we got it with everything else. No, this is your money. This is not an entitlement. This is something that you've set aside, that 12.4% every single paycheck, and you deserve to have that as part of your retirement. The second piece of that is that over a third of most people's retirement comes from Social Security. And so if you're not taking it at the right time, what happens?
Well, and if you're wondering, am I taking Social Security in the right way? I think part of the reason why some of you feel guilty about getting a second opinion from another advisor is you may have been working with this advisor for the last 15, 20, 25 years, and you're thinking, okay, nice guy, this is really good information, we have a good relationship, but what this means to you is if you've put in $250,000 into Social Security, and one little mistake on when and how you make that decision to pull that out could cost you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, you shouldn't feel guilty for getting a second opinion, because it's simply just trying to get good information for your own decision. I think a mistake that we see is, hey, I don't want to go talk to another advisor because it might hurt the feelings of my current advisor. And I think that's a mistake. And here's why. Because if you think about this. Would you ever just skip over a $250,000 brokerage account and say, oh, that's not important?
You'd never do it.
No way. But if you've paid in $250,000 into Social Security, you deserve the opportunity to get back every single nickel that's rightfully yours.
Now, there's a lot of advisors who talk about Social Security in general terms, but you've got to work with somebody who is focused and understands what all of the caveats as it relates to your retirement and going into Social Security in a lot of detail as it relates to your plan.
Because you only get one chance to retire, so there's no room for error. You have to get this right. And getting a second opinion to confirm that you've covered your bases could help you avoid making a huge financial mistake that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. It will only benefit one person, and that's you. There's literally no downside risk to getting a second opinion. And if you want to have that conversation with us, we'd be happy to look at your situation to ensure that you're leaving no stone unturned. Let us prove to you how we can make a difference out of every dollar that you save for retirement with our Boss Retirement Blueprint.
Is it hard, Ryan?
It's not. We keep it simple. And we only focus on the most critical factors that could help you make your money go further in retirement. Your initial analysis won't cost you one thin dime. If you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement, call 801-610-1234 to schedule your initial analysis right now. You won't want to miss this opportunity.
What conversations are you having with your financial advisor? Coming up next, we're going to share the most important factors that could have the biggest impact on your retirement. We'll see you after the break.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
It's your retirement. How will you live it? How will you be remembered?
Will you be able to take me on vacation?
Will you be there for my ball games?
Will you teach me your values? You'll be able to play with me? Or help me go to college?
How will I remember you?
Have the retirement you dream about. Ask BossRetirement.com.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Welcome back to Retirement Solutions Television.
You've heard the stories about someone who has a health scare, or maybe you've even been one yourself. They think something's wrong, the doctor misses an ache or a pain, but the patient gets a second opinion. And that second opinion winds up saving their life. Nothing bad comes from getting a second opinion. It can only benefit you. And the same holds true with your money and your retirement. It'll either confirm you're on the right track, or it could literally save your retirement. So there's zero downside
What
risk.
you're saying is, it's crazy not to, right?
That's exactly right. And coming up in this segment, we're going to reveal how a second opinion could save your retirement and the conversations you should be having with your advisor that could help your money go further in retirement. So Tyson, as we think about this, let's continue this conversation on why a second opinion is so important. The CBS Money Watch article, very good article. What did it say?
You know, the CBS Money article is a good example of a question that you should ask your financial advisor. In fact, this article talks about how 46% of all Americans think all advisors are fiduciaries. And that is not the case. There's actually a small portion of all advisors that are fiduciaries. So the question really boils down to, what does the financial advisor do and how do they do it? You need to understand what your financial advisor can and can't do to ensure that you're getting the advice that you need.
So if you've never heard the term fiduciary, it's an important word that you need to understand, because what a fiduciary means is that the advisor puts your interests first above everything else. And that is not always the case when it comes to financial services. And that's why this is so shocking when you look at 46% of individuals out there think that all advisors are fiduciaries. Most advisors out there definitely want to put your concerns in first place, but they legally don't have to. A fiduciary, what that changes is you legally have to do that, and that's a big difference.
You're always going to put the client first.
That's right.
The next piece that you need to ask is, a lot of times a financial advisor will say, hey, don't worry, I'll come to your house. I want to take good care of you. I want to give you good service. And then you may find out after you join their firm that he doesn't even have an office, or she doesn't have an office. It's really important to understand that you've got to have a client base that's big enough and a financial advisor firm that is able to share all of what he has by having and inviting you into their office, and you understand where they truly are as far as the quality of their business by doing that.
Well, and that may seem really simple. You may have gone to a dinner, seminar, or a workshop, and they said, hey, we'll offer great customer service and come out and visit you. But oftentimes it's because they don't even have an office. That may sound funny in today's world, but where we have a lot of virtual things, but having an office, a home base, and a team that can support you as you not only get to retirement, but through retirement is very, very important. The other piece here is sometimes firms will focus in one area. They may only offer annuities, or they may only offer stocks and bonds, and they don't offer any other solutions. Why is it important, Tyson, for an advisor to offer all solutions?
You know, this really goes back to the fiduciary discussion. You can't be a fiduciary if you're not licensed right, and you can't be a fiduciary and put your needs first if you can't offer all products. This doesn't mean that these individuals are bad people. It just means that you want to have all of the resources, everything at your disposal so you can make the right decisions at the right time as it relates to retirement.
That's right. The last one is we recommend that the advisor create a plan for you. Now, this also may sound very simple. Don't all financial advisors offer plans? No, a lot of financial advisors are simply there to sell you a product. And the problem with that is what happens is a plan is not complete without product, but here's the most important thing. A product is not a plan, and we'll talk about that more in detail.
After all, you only get one chance to retire, so there's no room for error. You have to get this right. And getting a second opinion to confirm you've covered your bases could help you avoid making a huge financial mistake that could cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. After all, it will only benefit one person, and that's you. There's literally no downside risk. If you want to have that conversation with us, we'd be happy to look at your situation and ensure you're leaving no stone unturned. Let us prove to you how we can make the most out of every dollar you've saved in retirement. With our Boss Retirement Blueprint, now we keep it simple and short. We focus only on the most critical factors that could help your money go further in retirement. Best of all, this won't cost you a dime. If you've saved $200,000 for retirement, give us a call at 801-610-1234 to schedule your initial analysis right now.
Coming up next, more on the conversations you should be having with your financial advisor and how a second opinion could save your retirement. Join us after the break.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people ask us that question is, how do you guys get along in real life? Your brothers, everybody always says, don't get into business together. But the reality is we have known each other. We shared a bedroom together, and we started our first business selling atomic fireballs on the playground at Canyon View Elementary School, where we went down to the Cottonwood Spa and we bought atomic fireballs for 5 cents, and we turned around and sold them for 10 cents on the playground. We had to kind of do it undercover because we weren't technically supposed to be selling anything at Canyon View Elementary.
There was no vending machine at the elementary school that they could go buy it, so we were the only source, right? And they could buy it for 10 cents. So it was 100% profit, right, that we made on that. The only problem is that we would get mad a little bit because sales weren't going as well as we thought, and we just started eating the inventory. So when we started,
maybe you ate a few more than I did.
Well, maybe so. So here's what we look at. Is what's the lesson in here? It's inflation.
There's a lot of great things that we do well together that are similar about each other, but there's a lot of things that are different about each other as well. The way that I'm more focused on what the future holds and what we can do to be making the business better. Ryan's really good at taking that vision and really condensing it into something smaller that's easy for our team to digest. And so we really do complement each other in a lot of different ways that helps our business to grow and helps our clients to feel comfortable with what we're doing for them.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us.
What conversations are you having with your financial advisor? Are you talking about strategies to help reduce your taxes in retirement? How about are you talking about when you should claim your Social Security benefits, or when you should withdraw money from your IRA, 401k, or other retirement accounts? If you're not having these conversations, ultimately, you're the one who's going to pay for it, and you owe it to yourself to get a second opinion. Getting a second opinion could only benefit one person, right, Rye?
That's right.
And that's you. You'll either confirm you're on the right course, or it could literally save your retirement. Coming up in our final segment, we'll reveal how a second opinion could save your retirement and the conversations you should be having that could help your money go further in retirement. Ryan, we've talked a lot about some great things today, about the questions you should be asking your financial advisor about, what they should be doing to help you. What are the next couple?
One of the critical conversations should be about taxes, because how you plan for taxes today will have a drastic impact on how long your money's going to last in retirement. There's been so many changes in the financial services world over the last couple of decades, where we have the ability now, for example, to put money in after tax and have the money come out tax-free in retirement. However, if you do not have a forward-looking tax strategy, this could be extremely costly when it comes to the way that you pull your money out in retirement. And Tyson, if we look at a tax strategy, why should you be having conversations with your financial advisor about taxes if they're not a tax advisor?
The reality is, the further out you go from retirement, the better off you're going to be if you focus on the right things. In a previous show, we had a whole segment on just how important it is to ensure that you don't have too much pre-tax income. Now that may sound strange. You've always been told to put money into your 401k or your IRA, but how are you going to get that money back out? It's easy to put it in, it's harder to get it out, right?
And it's riddled with trap doors, and one little mistake here can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. So having a forward-looking tax strategy is a big piece of the plan. The other thing that's important is how you withdraw your money from your retirement accounts. Because if you make a mistake in the order of withdrawal, that can also be very costly when it comes to retirement. Tyson, what are the 3 buckets that you have when it comes to your retirement money?
This is an important piece that you need to understand, so grab a pen right now. The first one is a taxable bucket. That's, again, the 401k, the Roth, or the IRA. That's money that is pre-tax that you're going to pull out, that you're going to pay taxes on once it comes out.
So that's your tax-deferred bucket.
That's the tax-deferred bucket.
You have a taxable bucket, which could be like your bank accounts, your non-qualified brokerage accounts, or money that you've already paid taxes on. The way that you recognize this taxable bucket is because you get a 1099 at the end of the year if there's been any movement in that account. Last one, Tyson, this is the ultimate bucket. What's the best bucket of all?
It's the tax-free bucket. Most people focus on this as it relates to their retirement, that you never have to pay taxes on it. You never have to worry about a required minimum distribution at the age of 70 and a half. You need to understand how all of these buckets play into your plan. And there needs to be a concrete solution that you understand, that your spouse understands, and that your advisor is talking to you about on a regular basis.
So on today's show, we've been talking about the importance of getting a second opinion, because you only get one chance to retire. And so there's no room for error. You have to get this exactly right. Getting a second opinion to confirm that you've covered your bases could help you making big mistakes when it could cost you thousands and thousands of dollars in retirement. It will only benefit one person, and that's you. And that's why there's literally no downside risk to getting a second opinion. If you want to have that conversation with us, we'd be happy to look at your situation and ensure you're leaving no stone unturned. Let us show you how we could help make the most out of every dollar that you've saved for retirement with our Boss Retirement Blueprint. We keep it simple and we keep it short, and we only focus on the most critical factors that could help your money go further in retirement. Your initial analysis won't cost you one thin dime. So if you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement, call 801-610-1234 to schedule your initial analysis right now. That's 801-610-1234.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
You're on the back nine heading for the clubhouse. Your dreams of spending time with family and enjoying retirement are just within reach. What happens if you end up in the rough? In these uncertain times, it's crucial to be prepared with sound advice. Boss Retirement Solutions is one of Utah's premier retirement planning specialists. For a complimentary consultation, call 801-610-1234. Boss Retirement Solutions. Plan to retire well.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Thanks for watching today's show. If you'd like to start a conversation, give us a call or go to our website. We'd be happy to talk to you.
Remember, retiring successfully doesn't happen by accident. We'll see you next week.